the South. Ain't got really feel me. Feel us. East Coast, feel me. Feel us. West Coast, feel me. Say what?
What's up, y'all? It's Kaya. I am back with part 2 of last week's recap. Feeling myself, season 5, episode 3. It's cool though because our people aren't even back yet, so we have a little bit more time. I'm not even gonna focus on that because November 7th, it's right there. Kind of far, but I see it. A few more days. Let's get into it. Starting with Preaching Lil Mina, y'all, because we're just gonna get them out the way. And as a matter of fact, let me set a timer of how long I'm gonna talk about these people. Maybe like 10 seconds, right? 10 seconds. That's all they get. I'm joking. I might give them at least like 15, 20. I'm not gonna be that mean. This girl, Mina, she done went to go see her little grandparents, right? And now they want her all the time. I was like, please take her. Come on, let's go. Look, here's my thing. She serves no purpose anymore. Yeah, that's his daughter, but that could be his daughter from a distance. The first time around, you know, Mo was in the picture, and I was like, I don't think that's his baby. It turned out it was his baby. I don't know what I was thinking before. Having a man around before, it moved things along. With him, Mo, the Coop situation, Mo trying to get back in his life somehow, some way. And now, oh, we got a kid together. This is how I'm gonna do that. I get that. But Mo dead. Mo gone. Why she can't be gone? Y'all, she's here so long. They're switching up the hairstyle. She got braids now. I was like, why is she here long enough for me to see her rocking different hairstyles? No. Just bring back the pigtails and send her to grandma, grandpa. Lil Mina's trying to get taken away. And here comes Coop. Oh my gosh, yo, she has just been irking me. She can't mind her business. And I say that knowing good and well that I was just rooting for this girl before. In the last season, I definitely was. I still am a little bit. But right now, so far this season, and we only 3 episodes in. That was 3. Yeah. 3 episodes in, she doing the most. Hold up. You know why I'm also like, I'm just about to not like her at all? Because we're Sky. We're, like I said, 3 episodes in. I ain't see Sky Girl yet. And I heard her mention like, what, one time? I think it's been like one time, if that. Where is she? The fact that this supposed to be your little boo thing right now, your temporary boo, and she is nowhere in sight. That is not believable. It's also your girl not around, which is why you're minding everybody else's business instead of your own. So here we go with Preach, and now he got back to me and Preach. I didn't want to go there. I see I was trying to deflect from them for a little bit there. Now I gotta come back. So now we back to them, and here comes Coop trying to make this her mission, is to get everything situated with Preach. This is her brother. Her other one, she got 2, and she want to make sure he's straight. You know, this is his baby girl. He not trying to lose her. She Auntie Coop. There was a time when she wasn't. So she's trying to be there for them, but it's the simple fact that you're trying to be there as a friend, be there as Auntie Coop or whatever, but also have your hand into how this case is going. Girl, you can't do both. You cannot be on both sides of this, because like they said, you are not going to see it the way a judge sees it. Go sit down somewhere. Did you even start your classes yet? She has not. Look, I really was hyping this girl up before for how she was talking. No lie. She was like, no knock warrants are illegal. And I was like, yo, she knows some things, y'all. But I knew she didn't know everything. So this situation right here, I'm like, girl, no, you're too close to this. And so did Mama Laura think the same thing. I was like, we're on the same wavelength right here, Mama Laura. She was saying the same thing I was thinking in my mind. It's the way Mama Laura was just sitting back watching, yo, in silence. She was watching everything silently, taking it all in, knowing she was going to have to stand up, knowing she was going to have to pull her back and be like, yo, that's why I got Darius, because he got a degree. Cool. You're going to come back up for me. But right now, no. So little Darius, he trying to get Coop, fall back, girl, get behind me. Let's go, you gotta learn. And you're too close to this case. Coop, girl, she trying to do both. She trying to do it all. She go talking to Lil Mina, talking about, where do you really want to stay? With your daddy, or you want to go to your grandparents? You know you want to stay with your daddy. And Lil Mina's like, my daddy. So Coop is over here making promises she should not be making to Lil Mina, and goes back to Darius. She let him know. And like I said, Mama Laura, she over here looking in the background. She like this. I kid y'all not. This Mama Laura in the back. She like, I said, girl, Mama Laura, aka Silent Watcher. She's taking it all in, and she want to bring it back later. I said, whoo, This is gonna be good. Also, it's the way Coop and Darius are going back and forth. Who knows? Down the line, this might be her third bro right here. They might like each other down the line. I feel like they would. But right now, they butting heads like crazy. Because Darius, my man's, he's made for this stuff. He has the resources for this stuff. He knows his stuff. And for Coop girl, you're only seeing it really one way. And as he's even trying to tell her, you know, this is the way a judge will see it, and I'm trying to see it. I know I see it in that same way. And she's like, oh no, Preach has changed. Okay, girl, he's changed. But the fact that he had to change from what? That's what they gonna be looking at. Why did he have to change, girl? And I'm like, she ain't thinking about that. And she ain't trying to see it that way. So, Mama Laura, you need to speak up. So she did. And she was like, I love how you're there. Oh, hold on. Before we even get to her, right? This girl Coop, she goes see Papa Billy. I don't like him right now that much either. That's why I be forgetting about him. I be fixing my mind to be like, he don't exist. I'm joking. She goes to see him, and the thing is, Preach is better. He's changed in a good way. And now with his job working at the school, him being there for Amina now, because he hasn't always known about Amina as well. That's another big thing here. He's just now building this relationship with her. And the way he actually got her is another thing that's working against him, because her mama dead. So now she's talking to Billy because she wants him to speak on Preach's behalf, and just to let them know, come on, Papa Billy, speak out and let them know the man you got working for you, the man you know as Preach. And I was like, is this going to benefit him in any way? Because if not, he ain't going to want to do it. Now, Papa Billy agrees, and Mama Laura, she comes walking out, and she's like, oh, actually, that's a great idea, Coop. I said, I feel where this is going. Come on, let her know. Let her have it. She was like, but, my dear. That's as far as this goes. Fall back. When I tell you, I was so happy because after, she was butthurt. She was like, that's family. What do you mean? I'm supporting him, blah, blah, blah. Mama Laura, she was like, that's great. You can definitely do that. No one's stopping you. I was like, no one is, girl. You could just do it from outside the office because you are not about to be handling this case. And Mama Laura was like, yeah, no, that's not about to happen because look how close you are to him. You know, go support him. That's what he really needs is your support as his sis. And I was like, that's where she should be right now. So she ain't trying to be with Scott. If you're gonna be open somebody's business, go help him. Go be there for him. Also, with his case, I feel like it's gonna show a lot of his history and his past coming back to haunt him, to where it seemed like Amina gonna be going, you know. And I say that's so depressing because I feel like in the end something's gonna work out to where he's gonna end up being able to keep her, which means we're gonna have to keep seeing her. So I'm just gonna enjoy this for right now of him thinking, you know, of this strong possibility of her having to dip out and go live with her grandparents because of his troubled past. And I'm gonna feed on that until they break it to me that she's staying. Asher and JJ, y'all. I actually liked Asher a lot more this episode. I know, I've been hard on him the last couple of weeks because he just been there for me. That's it. I see him on my screen, I'm like, there go Ash. But I liked him this episode, and I feel like going forward, I'm gonna like him even more because of where he ended things for himself this episode here. But JJ first. My man JJ seemed like he going through it. Here's the thing. It's like one of them people who be faking happy, you know, but you know they're dealing with things on the inside, and that's what I get from JJ, is he's battling with some things that he's not trying to deal with, he's not trying to talk about. Because last week, we see him, even last season, JJ's known as that energetic hyper type, the one who gets the party going, the one who gets everyone together for these crazy events. But you also see the lows, and they don't seem that noticeable at times when they did the time capsule videos, and just the way his demeanor was talking in his video. And my man's, he was not seeming in that video how he was around all his friends on that little trip up in the woods. No way. Where was his energy? It was not present in that vid. So just seeing how he's been these last couple of months, it's something going on. But my man's JJ over here, and I feel like at some point, hopefully by mid-season, we'll learn more of what that is, because this right here feels like JJ is putting on a front for us, and I can recognize the front real good. Something's off. And I don't know if it's, does he not have a passion for football or love for football to pursue it the way everyone else is, like all his bros are? Because it doesn't feel that way, and it feels like he just needs to discover more of himself and who he truly is, what he truly wants. And I don't think he has any of that figured out, which is why he's just going through the motions, it feels like, and sleeping around. Which is why he's doing all these extra things like, oh, I'm going to the frat house, can you give me a ride? And just being how people expect him to be, how people know him to be. And it's just getting him by, but it's also killing him on the inside until he can't take it anymore, and we finally see that breakdown. Could you imagine a breakdown from JJ? What that would look like? Y'all, that would be crazy. That would be so good. My heart is going to break for him, but I got to see it. So hopefully this leads to where I feel like it's going to take me, which is a huge JJ makeover. We're going to see this man transform into his true self, you know? We're going to see him really find his passions, really find his love, and really open up and express demons, if any, and worries, if any, which I feel like he has. So let's go, season 5. Asher, my mans, I realized this episode, what I think it is for me, what I think is why I was just watching him just to watch, you know, before, and why I wasn't really feeling where his story, his journey was going, is I wanted him to do the coaching thing. Like, I feel like that's where he excels at. And yeah, everything takes time, everything takes training. But I feel like it was just because I constantly just saw him as a coach in training, you know, sitting on the sidelines, wanting to pitch his ideas, being little Coach Montez. Never felt like he really embodied being a coach, being that coach. And I feel like this episode is where I actually felt like, yo, look at the stash, look at the mustache. The stash is definitely not down here. Do not listen to me. I know where it's at. Look at the beard. My man's, he looked legit. He had the coach fit on with the jacket and the little hoodie thing on. I said, oh, you look good, my man's. So he out there because Coach Montez then gave him free reign. He was like, yo, you go ahead, you go out there and you scout. I said, look at him. And I actually like to see it. I think it's also just seeing him out in the field and him doing what Billy, oh my gosh, take me back. Nah, I don't want to go there, but it was nice when I was there. When Billy was out scouting for Spence back in the day, and now to see him in that same role when he was just so small. Ash, he was just so small back then as just a member on the team, and now he's in that coaching role out here scouting. I said, look how far he's come. I appreciate it. I accept it. I want to see it. So my man's is out here talking to Papa Billy. You know what I love? It's the way him and Papa Billy are going back and forth in a joking matter, because look, they were once coaching player, right? And now they're basically like on the same level. Coach to coach, you get to come to him as, you are no longer underneath him. I said, let him see you, Ash. Ash is out here scouting at Crenshaw. Billy is selling him on Jabari. And I was like, do we really like Jabari? I'll take him because maybe he can get his act together. There's always room for growth. You know, I've seen it in other people, but I've also seen those same people backtrack a bit. I don't know if I'm ready to accept another, but I'll take it for now since this is what they're giving me. He pushes him on Jabari. My man, he talks to Jabari and everything, and ends up taking Jabari on. I said, this is about to be interesting, because you can see how, it also gives Jabari the scholarship. You can see how him and JJ's relationship is kind of taking a hit right now, because he feels JJ isn't doing all he should be doing, all he could be doing. JJ coaching thing, he feels is getting to Ash head, you know, he's taking it too serious. They're on two different levels. They're at two different points in their life, so they're heading in two different directions, and it's clashing, especially because they're under the same roof with each other. So just seeing how Ash is looking in this meeting, which is supposed to be this big thing, you know, this is your first scouting, you're signing on this person full ride to come to your school now to play for Coastal, and you don't seem like you're happy, you're into it and everything because it's something big for you. You're bringing on someone great. I'll give you that, Jabari. But also, you're going through your own things, and you have some things that you need to talk through with JJ as well, which is why he's not all the way there in this meeting. You know, his mind is kind of flicking somewhere else a little bit. And we're going to see all this, y'all, all this come to a head, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I feel like it's coming later because we still got to build up some more of these stories individually in their joint story as to how this relationship, because I don't even feel like we've seen all the strain on this friendship yet because it hasn't reached that breaking point, but it's getting there and it is so good. Hold up because no, we're not gonna move past this. Back to Coop and her annoying self at this party for Mama Grace. And she come walking up on Paige, right? Why? Because she's the one, y'all. This is why it gets me. She's the one who made my girl think that they were gonna be rekindling something, you know? And that ain't happened. I would have appreciated it more. I would have accepted it more had it been Paige walking up to Coop. But no, it's Coop walking up to her like you weren't the one that was just pushing her away again. Just like what? 2 months ago? Yup, that was like 2 months ago. So for her to be walking up now talking about Janelle, and I'm like, who's Janelle? Can we get some back history here? Like we're gonna remember her mama name like that. It's been how many seasons? This scene killed me. It felt so cheesy. I was not taking it. She's like, girl, you know Janelle. She be sending me all these pics and you and Layla killed it on the carpet. And I'm just like, why are you over here flirting with her? Legit, that's what it was giving. You're over here smiling. You're raving about how good she looks in person. This guy's nowhere in sight. You know why I was even more tight with it is Paige girl was eating it up. And I'm like, girl, come on, control yourself. She was taking it all in and she was like, you know, girl, it's crazy. Me and Layla, like, it was such a crazy experience. Go tell somebody else that. Stop talking to her because she giving you the runaround. Like this right here for like the runaround. And I'm not trying to go around so many times with y'all. It's one more time and that's it. This right here, no, I'm not taking it. When I tell y'all I was so done, so over that conversation, I was like, come on, next. Spelivia, y'all. Here's where we're at. Let's start from the top because this man, Jor, my guy, I like you. I love you. I might even love you. No, that's pushing it. I like you a lot, my mans. But you def should have told your sis about Spence coming to this meeting or had him hit her up or something because the way they blindsided this girl and he just comes sitting down. She looking like excuse me. So you sitting? My man's cops a squat, right? George talking about, oh yeah, I told Spence. And I'm looking like Liv looking like we both looking at each other like, you see this? I said, girl, no, because this is not the reason, but it's a part of the reason, a part of the bigger picture as to why y'all on this break right now. Come on, this article. You know what got me too? It's him sitting here like he don't even want to be here. I got out of bed for this. Like, seriously though? No lie. He's sitting here like he already came in with his defenses up. He already came in here ready to combat her. My man's there was no smile with him sitting at this table. Liv girl, she accepts it. She just takes it because he not moving. And you know what? At this point, he already knows what it is I've been looking into regarding the article, who I've been looking into. So if he's on board, he's on board. We'll see what it is. Let me open up some more to him about it, see if he has any feedback or whatever. She does that. Y'all, don't come for me. Do not come for me. This is why this cafe scene, I was just looking at Spence a little sideways because y'all communication, it's been struggling. It definitely has. And the article situation, you know, it's come between you two multiple times before, and it's always been something that you never fully seemed like you were interested in. And the times that you would try to, here we go right here. Look, oh my gosh, you published your article. Did you read it? No. Point proven. For me, it was seeing where the articles, like her articles in the past, have gotten the two of you. You know, the issues it's brought up. Not being the best thing between the two of you several times before. Which is why we're here on this break. To now see you come into this situation knowing that her just being a journalist, her working on this article has been a constant issue for you both. And you're not even coming in, one, you're not coming in with a smile. Two, you're coming in just trying to find the flaws. You're coming in just trying to poke holes, as she said in the story, that she's still working on, you know, something that she's been putting a lot of time and energy into. And this is how you want to sit down at her table that she already had before you showed up and be sitting here trying to talk to her? That's why Dre got up and left. I was like, but you the one that did this, Dre. You the one that brought him here, you know, and you ain't even tell her. You ain't give her time to prepare. You know what it is? I wouldn't have minded, like the patient Coop situation, had Paige been the one to approach her. Just like this situation here, had he just approached it differently. Like my man's walked in there. He came in already knowing what was up because of Jordan. I was like, come on, my man's like, you already see where they at right now with this relationship. We trying to put back together soon. He already saw what happened with them. He knows what it is between them and still filled him in. And I'm like, I feel like that was Liv's place to kind of do. Or at least you should have spoke to her first before you went to him and told him what was going on. But now it is what it is. He done did it. This man done showed up. But he comes in knowing already everything. So it makes me believe that he already came in ready to throw these things at this girl. Ready to sit here and poke these holes. You know, because, it was the way he was sitting there. And when they're telling him about Lil Zay and his scholarship and also about the little bounty hunters, it reminded me so much of when he walked up to her and he's like, that's not the article you're working on, are you? In such an accusatory way. So even this, he's like, did Isaiah tell you that? No? Okay, we're still building here. We're still in the building phase. I'm like, let them build. And he's like, okay, but how do you know? Sir, can you look at the positives? There are some. The conversation between them, it was already tense. But this right here, the way it's ending, it was getting kind of crazy. So now, they're back at the house, the beach house. And they're placing all these calls to these old players, trying to build more on her story, which I appreciated that, you know? I feel like there's still so much more he could do, or he could have done in the past, I'll say, could have done. Now they're not in a relationship. So him helping now, my man, he like, come on, I gotta help her with this story so I can get her back, because what are we doing here? I was like, what are y'all doing? So my man is actually helping her. He's calling out to these players. But then it's the way he's now telling her how to approach these players, which I'll give him that too. He was like, they're victims too. At least he accepts that. Now he's seeing. Come on, open your eyes. But it's also the way he's basically telling her how to come at these players based off of insight that he has. Which I feel like all of this would have been fine. Like him helping out, him giving out these suggestions. If this same effort was put in when they were in a relationship, you know? On both parts. Like, she could have been more open about the article. Had he shown more interest in the article. Come on, takes two. So, I feel like had this been them placing these calls, him sitting down in the cafe with her, just talking it out when they were in a relationship, this would have been great. She would have been more accepting to hearing this information, you know, if he didn't have this, like, just straight look on his face as he's talking to her about the whole situation. Now, with where they're at and it being this setting that they're in, they're not together and she's not the one who filled him in. Her brother did. So it was something she was already trying to leave him out of. They're freshly broken up. She recently just saw him out at a party, saw him with another girl, didn't really know what the situation was with him and that girl, but she's going off of her own thoughts. So to have all of this now and be working with him on this article, which was a big thing for the two of you before, and still is actually, and now you're having to just go through all this with him. I see it. I see it as Liv. Like, I can see where Liv is coming from. And also with him heading out now to go to, where he going? Lemire Park? That's where he was out to go see his mama, because he was trying to be there for her. But she don't know that. Liv girl was just like, yo, he's going to Lemire Park. Who he meeting over there? We ain't never go there. I said, y'all ain't go there? So now she has all this on her mind. And still working on this article so she can get back to her man down the line. Now we out with him and Mama Grace because she needs to find a wedding dress. Was she married to his daddy? I don't know. I feel like she might have been, though. Who cares? Now she got her new boo. She's trying to get some friends to go with her to try and dress it. She ain't got that many. She ain't want to bother the ones she did have. She only got like 2 of them. But they probably was busy too. Mama Laura, we know she got a job. That's her friend, y'all. So now my man Spence showed up to be there for his moms, right? He was over there helping Liv girl in a way. And now he over here helping his mama. We get in this shop. And I see the girl. I said, I can see where this is heading. The girl, though, she was so cute. Little hairstyle with the things coming down. That fit they had on her, I said, okay. They made sure when one was coming in for him, like a legit one, I feel like this might be a legit one, y'all, not gonna lie. They made sure she looked good because that fit, it hit. Pause on the girl for a minute. We get to him and Mama Grace. She's trying on dresses, asking him about Liv girl. And my man, he was like, oh, I actually just saw her this morning. I was like, yeah, that's right. And they didn't end things too well, but here we are now. This man says, this is what got me. This is where it was. He said, you know, I thought offering to help. And I was like, see, I don't mind that this man offered to help. had that offer been directed at Liv, to her face? No, I'm pretty sure it went to Jor when Jor opened his mouth and told Spence about everything that was going on with Liv in this article, which is why he showed up to that cafe. And then he gets to the cafe, he just takes a seat, and now he's just in here listening. In a way, he's looking. Y'all, it wasn't sitting right with me. So all this to say, he's in the shop with his mom now, and he looks tired. Spence looked like he'd been through it, and Liv Girl seemed like she's just trying to bury herself in her work and what she has going on with this article and everything, so that way she doesn't have to focus on her broken heart, and just to get it out there, because if all this work is going to be for nothing, what? No. So she got to make something out of this, and she's on the way to doing that. But here, I can see it. After I was just getting on Spence, I appreciate the fact that he is trying. Yes, I feel it's a little late, but it's better late than never. On one hand, I'm like, he wasn't smiling. Like, you could have, not even just smiling, but you could have had a more pleasant look on your face in the cafe. But also, at the same time, I'm like, he's listening, which it's a lot more than what I feel this man was doing in the past, you know? He's open, he's here, he's present, and he's actually taking in what they're saying. And then again, I'm like, you're sitting here challenging them, but it shows that you're actually listening, because before, he ain't even read. That he is actually sitting here considering all this information that they're giving him, which I'm gonna say, when I actually sat and thought more about it, this conversation that he had with them, after I was just going in on Mans, I said it makes sense, you know, because it's like Coop, girl. A judge isn't going to see it that way. A judge is going to look at the entire picture, you know, his whole past. Just like Spence here in this situation, I feel like he's asking the questions that he should be asking. I feel like he's questioning the things that he should be questioning. I don't feel like it came across in the best way considering him and Liv's situation. I feel like that could have been better. But I can see his point of view and where he was coming from, given that he's an athlete and given what this article releasing could do to the team. I don't knock him for that. Okay, side note too, because I'm also realizing as I'm talking to y'all that my thoughts are changing as I go, but that's because I'm literally taking y'all on my journey as I watch the episode, you know? Like how my thoughts change as I watch it. So by the time it got to him and Mama Grace in the shop, this is where I was at. And I was like, I'm not going to fault you too much for how you were earlier. But for me, it's just the fact that I feel like it's late. That's the main thing. It's late. And I wish this would have happened, like him and Liv teaming up on this. Or even not even fully teaming up, just talking more about it. Like how they are now, at least trying. And I feel like it wouldn't be as strained with them now trying to work with each other on this, had it just been a smoother transition into her working on this article when they were in the relationship. You know, that's what it was for me. So by the time we got to this wedding shop here thing, I was like, all right, Spence, I appreciate you now trying to help, and he is helping. I'm gonna take it because it's still getting me where I want to be, and that's Spelivia. They coming. Not right now though. Hold up, Mama Grace, she was trying me, and I was like, I be liking you, girl. Do not get on my bad side. Don't do it. Don't do it. And she doing it. She getting herself down there. Talking about, Alicia seems nice. Miss, she's nice to all of her customers, and that's exactly what the two of you are. Customers. That's it. And my man Spence, I'm like, also, I know she heard their conversation, because if I'm about to get to Alicia over here eavesdropping, I know you heard theirs too, up by that register when he was over here trying to sign an autograph. So no, it wasn't sitting here flirting. It was embarrassment that was taking place earlier. Do not try to make it more than what it is, because then you're going to send him back. And he went back. We ain't going to get there yet. Let's go. So now we get back to them having this convo, right? This girl, go back behind the register, who I was just talking about. She looks so nice. No, Mama Grace is sitting here having a moment with her son. She's like, you know, he got his head resting on her. You know he going through it. When he got his head, he a grown man, and he rested his head on his mama. Come on, he hurt. Telling him, baby, I know you lost your love temporarily, and you lost the person you were with her. And my man, that's so true. They both going through it, him and Liv Girl. They lost their person, and we need to get it back. So she's sitting here talking to him, having this little deep moment, and this girl comes strolling up, and I'm like, alright, what's she about to do? This girl, one, is trying to give him champagne. I'm like, if my math is mathing correctly, He is not of age. And on top of that, the fact that you were listening to his conversation, I get it. I don't think there was music playing up in that shop. And her register was pretty close to where they were sitting at. But go mind your business. Go to the back or something. Didn't you see that mama son moment right there? To ignore and go do something else instead of eavesdropping so you can have a conversation start? Ooh. Number 3 though. She was over here trying to put herself out there for a date? What? No. Okay, let me go back to y'all because my thoughts they be all over the place. They be wrong too a lot of the time. I would just tell y'all what I want to happen and then it doesn't happen. So, a couple weeks ago, right? I was like, was that a couple weeks ago? Last week I think it was. It was for episode 2. And we only up to 3. So last week, I was like, he ain't gonna mess with that girl because we seen him in the past with how he was when it came to Kia and when it came to Lele. You know, it was so easy for him to just move on with somebody else because that was not where he was meant to be with those people. And Liv Girl's where he's meant to be. I'ma still hold on to that too with this here, but I feel like this is slightly different. He's not the type to have a quickie. He's not the type to just hit it and quit it real quick like that. That is not Spence. But he is the type to connect with someone else, I feel, or try at least. He's gonna try and do the whole little dating thing if he can bring himself to do that. And I feel like that's where this is gonna lead to, is him with this girl. Because also I was like, she talking to him quite a bit. I'm bugging. Backtrack a little bit too, earlier, a lot of it. Because this is, before we get to him being so corny, this man thought she wanted his autograph. I was like, it's on him. It's on you, Spence, because your cockiness brought out her flirtiness. And now she's over here trying to get with you because she found you charming and cute and funny. No, I can't. I'm not feeling her. Not for Spence. She's cool. The girl is fine, but can somebody else take her? Not him. While we have Spence over here doing his son duties with this girl, checking him out from a distance, we have Liv Girl, who's with Jor, and they're riding. About to go see about this player dude. But, yo, their car ride, y'all. I was like, I love this because it's a true brother-sister moment here. Him just sitting there letting her vent because he ain't got nowhere to go in the car. This was it for me. One, telling her that she was a bowl in the China shop because that be her sometimes. That be Liv Girl, and she know it too. That's why she just took it and thought on it for a little bit. But also, him just letting her know where Spence is coming from. It's not all from a bad place, you know. He actually means well and he makes some good points. But the highlight of that convo, he was like, he ain't sleeping with nobody, sis. You the last one. I said, she is. Tell her, Jor. Let her know. Girl, this been eating her up inside. She been trying to hide it. She ain't do a good job. But come on, I know her shoulders just, I know she relaxed. I know her inside just liquid so she could just drive steady. Now, I was like, yes, Liv Girl, come on, get to your destination. So they get there, right? And they get this dude talking finally after he was trying to hold back. And she was like, come on, I know you're a victim. And he said, you know what I am. Yup, he did it. I said, there we go. Come on. She making some progress. Now we get to Mama Grace's party with Spence and Liv, and it's the first time that they've seen each other today since their disagreement earlier when he left the house. And also, just this convo is their first, I want to say, pleasant conversation that they've had in a very long time. So to see the way it starts out with them not even apologizing, because homegirl says she was not, but with them just kind of feeling each other out and easing into this conversation, you know, just to make things good from how they left things previously. You know what it reminded me of? Which episode is it? It felt familiar. It felt like they had been here before and like we had been here before with them. Which is why it reminded me, I don't know which episode it is, y'all, but it's from season 1. I think it's like 4 or 5 or something like that. It's very early in season 1. But it's when she comes into the hangout and he's playing pool with like Asher, JJ. Layla's not playing pool. She's just sitting there. But they're all in the hangout and she's not looking to stay even though he's inviting her. Just because at the time we all knew what she was dealing with and she wasn't really in with them, all them people except him back then. So now this situation is nothing like that, but just the way they were conversing then to how it is with them talking now and like the light laughs and just, you know, playing off of each other lightly, having a conversation that actually means something while doing it, having a real conversation where you're not just talking about anything random to pass the time, you know. As back then with him checking on her and making sure she was good, invited her to stay because he wanted her to feel welcome. And now this here where completely different topic, but it's them still talking about something that means something to the both of them and just making sure they see where the other stands in that moment with each other and going forward. So I don't know, just that right there brought me back. It brought me back and I was like, I like this. Why I also liked it is because they've had a whole day to sit with what they had dealt with earlier with each other, you know, to talk to these other people, her talking it out with Jor, him talking to his mom about it. Even if they didn't go like fully in detail about their feelings overall, but it was just, they were able to release something. They were able to vent just a little bit, you know, to these people. So by the time they did see each other again, they were able to come to each other calmly and to actually hear each other out and just to move forward positively from where they left things the last time. So the fact that now as they come together, she's gotten a player to talk and he's apologizing for overstepping. She's understanding more of where he was coming from, that he was trying to help, that he was helping. And she's also just staying true to who she is. But this is what I love and appreciate the most, which is why there's no doubt in my mind that they're coming back. They were lacking a crazy amount. They definitely were struggling immensely in the communication area. Look at us now. Look where we at. I feel like it's not where we need to be with them, but we're taking the steps to get there. So even with the article situation and how I felt in the beginning, how she felt in the beginning too, with him just coming in out of nowhere, we didn't know he was going to be there. But now he's interested in the article. He's trying to help in any way that he can. But it's the communication, because look where this conversation goes. And I was like, the fact that she was able to just switch like this and open up in this way, because they just broke up. It hasn't been that long. It's been like 2 weeks, right? Look at it. They were each other's, well, still are. They're each other's true love. You know, this is their person right here. We know those feelings have not gone away. They're still very much there, which is why they're hurting this way, which is why it pains them to see each other like this, to think of the possibility of them moving on. All that pains them because of the love that they have for each other. So now they have all of that basically gone in an instant, because yes, it's been building to this, but this was a possibility. The two of you splitting was a possibility you weren't trying to consider, a possibility you weren't trying to look towards. Now it gets to that point where it's Spence who calls for the breakup. And even with him being the one to do it, you both still hurt the same way. You both still have the same feelings. You know, it's not like he lost love for you. It's not like he no longer wanted to be with you. Something he wanted, but it's something he knew the two of you needed in that moment. In this time now, actually, not just that moment. You guys need this break for a little bit. Now I'm bringing it back to this conversation because Liv Girl, she wasn't the one who called for the breakup. Liv Girl went into that conversation, we saw at the end, wanting to still be with him because it's the love of her life, and she wasn't ready to make that call, but Spence was. For her now to be here with him in this moment and to be able to express demands openly, so open, you know, this is where progress is coming in with this communication. Homegirl lets him know that it messes her up to be around him. I said, no, but yes, let him know, girl, because it hurts to hear it, but at the same time to have that reassurance from him that it also messes him up too. We know this because there's no way two people who share a connection and a love as deep as they do, ain't no way you just gonna be like, yeah, we out, peace, I'm good, we done, right? And move on with your life. No, it is not going to be that easy for them. And yes, I had to go back and watch this scene. I watched it a couple times, actually. The way this convo just gave me confirmation. They were like, don't worry. I was like, I'm not even worried. I don't know why you're trying to sit here and calm me down. I'm already calm, you know, but I'll take what you're giving me because I see where we going. So the fact that they're sitting here, being able to express themselves in this way, man's letting her know he gonna try not to piss her off, but she like, you ain't gotta worry about me, boo. I can worry about myself. And again, oh my god, so many parts of this conversation with them just brought me back to Liv Girl in the beginning, her being on her own and her working through things on her own, you know. And now it kind of feels like that in a sense, where now she's back on her own. You know, she doesn't have Spence there, which for a long time before he got to Beverly, she didn't have him and she was dealing with things on her own. But now to know that she has his backup if needed, his help if needed. She has a better relationship with Jor, a better, stronger relationship with her parents, so she's in a better place. But it just, the feeling of it just brought me back to season 1 Liv. But our girl has come so far, so to still get kind of that feeling, but to also see the growth within her. Hold up, because also, we know a good also is coming. Homegirl, she told me, she said, put the S away. Put it away. We don't need it. I could save myself. I said, she know him. And he know that's what he be doing. He be putting it on. He be trying to save everybody. But for Liv girl, he got a whole separate bag for this girl right here that he be packing. He be trying to pack. And now he don't got to do it for her because she's going to be strong for herself. She's going to go through this on her own. And for her to move on, she can't have him worrying about her, worrying about what's worrying her, and about her love for him because, well, her feelings. She said feelings, but we know it's love. It's sitting deep down inside. She can't have that because then it's going to be messing with her still, which is why, you know, it messes her up to be around him and messes her up to see him, messes her up to just say his name. And look at the look in man's eyes because he know what she's saying is true. And he's like, I just got to take it. This is what it is for now. And this is where we stand with each other. When they come back together, that's gonna be crazy. I'm so excited because I feel like this convo here with them pushed us a lot of steps ahead. Like we took a big jump forward with the two of them. From where we were, this was a big jump, I feel, this conversation right here, which was much needed. Starting from him sitting down and coming to the cafe where she was, I feel like just this whole day and this experience with them overall is getting us on a better path with the two of them. The fact that they're holding on to their passions, holding on to their dreams, and still working on their own individual things, and they're finally coming together to work as a team and just to communicate more, which I'ma take it because it's what I want. All that to say, this man's, he's trying, I guess, that's what we'll call it. He's trying to take baby steps to move on, you know? And goes back to this shop. His corny self, yo, he's so whack for this. He not whack as a person, yo, just for this. This man shows up to this shop with a football, with his signature and a phone number. And it was his phone number. I was like, yo, were you not just talking with your mom's, with your head on her shoulder about your girl? Your girl still, that's still his girl. And were you not just talking to your girl? You know, y'all expressing feelings and stuff and making good, making nice a little bit there for you to come and do this. And I took it because I see where we going. Like brother, like sister. We about to have another Sky. A whole nother situation. Take 2. She's about to be temporary. And you know, I'ma take it because as long as I get Spelivia, mid-season finale? Mid-season. I'm gonna give them to mid-season. By the time we get to mid-season, we're gonna be making some strides back to this union here. Because right now, this girl, she gonna be here for a little bit. She gonna be his little new temporary little boo thing. Better not be around that long. But I'm gonna give her a little bit here, leading into mid-season finale, and then she gonna be out because he gonna be like, I can't do this. I'm hurting you because I know I'm still in love with my ex over here. I'm like, go get her. So by then, they're gonna be getting back, and this girl gonna be out. She gonna be butthurt, but at least she still gonna have customers, and she gonna have an income and stuff, you know. And then a signed football from Spencer James before he hits the NFL officially. So, Liv girl now. Spence, he spoke to Zay earlier, right? And he was like, don't worry. I know. It's not you. Don't feel bad about it. I know. So Lil Zay go talk to Liv girl, right? And now he ready to open up. She said, he made you do it? Zay said, yeah. I said, come on, story. Once I got on board, y'all, I knew. I said, my girl, she got this. But we about to take off because, like I said, we got to make it to Spelivia over there. I think they at the mid-season finale. That's what I'm holding on to. But until then, the ride to get there is about to be very, very interesting. Very good. Kind of slow, possibly. I don't know. I'm holding on to that fact because I don't want it to rush by. Just so I could take everything in, you know, before we get there and I could go crazy. But that is everything for today, y'all. And I will see you all next time. Peace.